Good day, viewers. You are welcome to the Law TV, your number one fantastic reality TV that gives you all that it takes to be enlightened on trending news such as politics, entertainment, sports, and what have you. If you are new on this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button as well as already subscribed. So please don't forget to drop your comments anytime I drop new videos. Thank you. Ciao, ciao.
Trending news. No border reopening until Benin Republic and others respect trading protocols. Federal government admitted on Wednesday that its temporary policy to close land borders was responsible for the current rising inflation in the country, but it still defended the closure, insisting that it will remain in place until the country neighbors learned to respect trade protocols. The federal government said it had to close borders because Nigeria could not continue to subsidize economies of our neighbors. Nigeria had in August closed its land borders on the grounds that smuggling of goods from its neighboring countries was hurting its economy. On November 4, the federal government listed 5 conditions for reopening the country's land border. As one of the conditions, the government said Nigeria would not accept imported goods that were repackaged by neighboring countries and brought to Nigeria. But since the border closure, headline inflation rose to 11.61% as of October from the 11.24% recorded in September. On Wednesday, Ahmed told State House correspondents that inflation rose due to hikes in food prices arising from the closure of the borders. She was responding to questions after Wednesday Federal Executive Council meeting ended in Abuja. The FEC meeting was presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari. However, the minister stated that the border closure was a temporary measure adopted by the government to protect the economy against trade malpractices by neighboring countries and would be reopened when all of Nigerian demands were met. She gave details on inflation. Headline inflation declined every month for several months before we noticed an uptick in the last 2 months, and now headline inflation is at about 11.61% as of the end of October. The slight increase in this inflation between September and October is due to food inflation. The food inflation relates to prices of cereal, rice and fish, and part of the reason is the border closure. But the border closure is very short and temporary, and the increase is just about 2 basis points. Remember, there was a time inflation was 9% and it grew to about 18% in January 2017 when we were in recession. The relationship between inflation, interest rates and growth is managed by the monetary authorities and is a management that is tracked on a regular basis. So if you reduce interest rates, you expect more borrowing for investment in the real sector. But at the same time, that also has the tendency of reducing money that is used for consumption on a day-to-day basis. So it is a balance that we continue to watch on a regular basis. We expect that this will be moderated as border closure in part fizzles out and also as monetary authority continue to support the MPR monetary policy rate, therefore ensuring that interest rates are not on the high side. Ahmed insisted that the government had little choice but to shut the border, else Nigeria would suffer the economy consequences, especially now that the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement was coming into effect. What we are doing is important for our economy. We signed up to the AFTA. We have to make such that we put in place check to make sure that our economy will not be overrun as a result of the coming into effect of the ACFTA. That is why we have this border closure, to return to the discipline of respecting the protocol that we all committed to, the minister added. On his part, the Minister of Information and Culture, Mr. Lai Mohammed, explained that the gains of the border closure outweighed any other impact it might have caused, adding that Nigeria was subsidizing the rest of West Africa. He urged that the practice of importing goods into neighboring countries, West African countries, and repackaging them for Nigeria to look as if they were manufactured in such countries was not healthy for Nigeria's economy. Mohammed disclosed that up till Tuesday this week, Nigeria and its neighbors were still engaged in discussion on why it was important for all the parties to respect the ECOWAS trade protocol on transit of goods. He said the border closure, frankly speaking, is what we needed to do, and we had to do it. We cannot continue to subsidize the rest of West Africa, and the benefits for border closure for me, I think, far surpass the very little increase in inflation. We have been able to save about 30% from our fuel consumption, which means that over time we have been subsidizing the fuel consumption of other countries. Within the last 3 months, we have been able to increase by 15% duties collected from imports. Within the same period, we have been able to drastically reduce the volume of arms and ammunition that have been coming into the country through smuggling, D2, with illicit drugs. All Nigeria is saying is, please, let's respect the protocol on transit. ECOWAS set up a protocol on transit of goods, which is very simple. If a container meant for Nigeria is dropped in Cotonou, the authorities in Benin Republic should escort the container to the customs in same border, and that way proper duty will be levied and will be paid. Thank you for listening to this news. Viewers, please, what's your take on this news? Please don't forget, your comments concerning this news are of great importance. Please don't forget to leave your comments behind. Click on the subscription buttons as well as bell buttons to receive more updates. Thank you.